ABC Jack here. Welcome to Vinyl Martini. I'm going to do a couple of shout outs before I get to my records. These are not new channels, but they're really good channels. Both of them, these guys are from the UK. The first channel I want to give a shout out to is the Suffolk Record Collector. That's Chris, obviously in Suffolk in England. He's got just under 600 subs. But he's got a great channel, and I never miss one of his shows. So if you don't know Chris, why don't you check him out? I will put a link below, of course. And the second channel I want to give a shout out to is Gatefold 33. I'm sure that most of you are aware of Dale's channel, but he also is under 600, and he definitely deserves more channels. But so if you don't know Dale's channel, he's a really nice guy. I don't know where in England. I don't know where he is in England. It doesn't matter, but he's got a great channel. So why don't you check him out and give him a sub if you haven't already. So, all right. I am going to do kind of a long intro before I start showing any records. Just to recap, I bought a collection about 3 or 4 months ago, 500 records, maybe 550 records. And I have been culling them, pulling out what I want. I've been cleaning them. I have been cataloging them, Discogs. So I ended up with around 250 to 275 records that I kept out of that collection. So the rest of it, some of it went to a friend who is a classical collector. So all the classical records went to him. I let my other friend go through the remainder, pull out what he wanted. So he pulled out about 50 records. He's a good buddy. I don't mind. I just gave him the records. And then I was left with probably about 120 records. So I thought that I would try to trade them in just for some credit. And I'm not the best person to do trade-ins. I've rarely done it. So this is one of my first attempts at doing it. So I got a record store in town. I got a box together about stuff that I thought he might consider taking. I went down to the record store. I said, "Are you buying records?" He said, "Well, I don't buy very many." I said, "Well, let me bring the box in and you can pull what you want and let's see what we can do." So I brought the box in. He pulled out about 5 or 6 records. And his business model has changed a little bit. He used to sell a lot of cheapies, like 3 for $10. And those bins, I noticed those bins are filled with new releases and re-releases, sealed records. So his business model's changed a little bit. He doesn't have a big area for that used cheap stuff that most of the stuff that I was trying to trade in would fit into. So anyways, he said, "Well, I'll take these records. I'll give you $30 credit." I said, "Fine, no problem." Got my credit, picked up a couple of records. I'm not going to show those today. I'll show those in another video. So that left me with about 100, like I said, about 120 records. I phoned another place that I was thinking of, and this is a place in Duncan, which is about an hour north of Victoria. Phoned them up in the morning. I said, "I got a couple boxes of records. Would you like to go through them? I just want credit for whatever I trade in." "Sure, bring them up." Drove up to Duncan with my wife, parked right in front of the store. And downtown Duncan parking is for such a small town, it's really hard to find parking in the downtown area. But right outside the door, so I schlepped the boxes in. She was busy talking to some customers, and it's more like an antique store, and they do sell records. They sell lots of different stuff in there. She said, "I'll be with you in a minute." I said, "No rush, because my wife and I are going to go out for lunch. I'll be back in an hour and a half." Jan and I go out for really lovely lunch in a pub. About an hour and a half later, I walk in the store. I said, "Did you have a chance to go through the records?" She says, "Yeah, I did. You just want credit for those?" I said, "Yeah, that's all I want." So she said, "Yeah, okay, I'll give you $200 for it. I'll give you $200. I said, "Like for all of them? Not in an unkind way. Like that was too little." I was amazed that she would even give me $200. So I said, right away, I said, that's a good deal. So she said, "Well, I just want to let you know that we are going to be closing the store in 10 days. So if you're thinking about not taking records today and coming back, make sure that you come back within 10 days. I said, no, that's fine. I'll go through the records today because I'm from out of town. Then she says, "Well, by the way, because we're closing, all the vinyl in the store is half price." So I said, "Holy smokes. That's like, I'm going to get to take my whole $200 in credit, which means I'm going to be buying $400 worth of records today. So I did do that. And as a little postscript, I want to go back a little about buying that whole collection. The entire collection cost me $300. So, and the trade-ins that I managed to, the records I managed to trade in, I got $230 of that. So really the collection cost me $70. So I don't know how that works out to what the new price of the records that I kept were, but it's probably around 20 cents each maybe. So that's pretty good deal. So I I started going through the things, and price was no object. Usually I'm pretty price sensitive, but because I had credit, and because everything's half price, I was not looking at the price of the records as closely as I usually do. So I was baffing around for 45 minutes or an hour, and I had like a pile of records like this, you know. I bring them up to the counter. I was trying to do a running count in my head. I didn't, anyways, I stopped that. Brought them up to the counter. I said, could you figure out how much this is? She got the calculator out. Sure, no problem. Blah, 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 blah. So I thought it was close to $200. It was $130. So I still had another $70 in credit. So I had to go back in the bins and real hardship and go pull some more records out. So anyways, at the end of the day, I got this great pile of records for nothing, basically. So that is a great day for me. That's a great day for any record collector. When I got them home, I was sifting through them, and I realized that I had bought quite a number of Canadian acts, not knowingly. It's just the way it worked out. So I would like to share those with you. That's how I'm going to divide the pile up. I'll do the Canadian acts today, and I will show you the rest of the albums that I bought in another video. So without further ado, let me finally show a record after 7 minutes of introduction, of that long introduction. So if you're still with me, thanks for hanging in. So first record I'm going to show is Canadian classic, a band called Godo. And this is a three-piece hard rock band fronted by Greg Godowitz. I have bought a Godo record maybe about half a year ago, and I really enjoyed it. And I remember these guys from way back when. I think they're based out of Montreal, but they used to play in Toronto all the time. And Greg Godowitz, this is a gatefold. It was marked for 20 bucks, so $10 record. It's well worth it because I've never seen this before. Anyways, Godowitz, Montreal band, but they used to play in Toronto and the Toronto clubs all the time. Three-piece power rock outfit. Really, really great. I enjoyed that other record I bought. I know I'm going to enjoy this one. This is, I don't know if this is his first record or their first record or their second record. Greg Godowitz is the bass player. And he used to play in a band called Flood, which was a fixture on the Toronto scene as well. And they used to tour extensively in Ontario and Quebec. And then when Flood broke up, Greg Godowitz went on his own. So the next record, let's go on to the next record. Another Canadian band fixture, Max Webster. I know Brian has shown this record, Brian the Embryonic Robot. He's shown this, he's talked about it extensively. Band fronted by Kim Mitchell, Pi Dubois, Pi Dubois is the secondary writer. He doesn't play in the band, but this is a four-piece. Kim Mitchell, Paul Kersey, Mike Tilka, and Terry Watkinson. So Max Webster's first record, and fantastic song. Toronto Tontos is on this. I think this is their third record. Mutiny, Up My Sleeve. Again, Max Webster. I don't know if you can check out their outfits here. This is Kim Mitchell here. Always a very flamboyant dresser. Looks like he just got out of bed with his pajamas. But third record, these guys are great. They're rock, kind of a little bit of prog, a little bit of everything. Very, very good writers. This is on Anthem Records, as was the first one. I don't normally show labels, but you don't see Anthem Records very much anymore. Small label, distributed by, I don't know who's distributed it by. Should have found out. Brian has shown this record. He's as well as showing the first one. He's shown this one as an example of very, very poorly dressed men. This is Kim Mitchell, Max Webster's fifth and last album. This is a really good one. It's got In the World of Giants, Cry Out Your Life, Blue River, Liquor Store, Canadian classic, Kim Mitchell, who went on to have his own solo career, very successful solo career. Kind of a Canadian icon, great guitar player, Kim Mitchell, and his band, Max Webster. Singer-songwriter Ray Matk. I don't know if anybody's ever shown a Ray Matk record. Even Rob from Northern Revolutions, who is the kind of guru of all Canadian music. I don't want to pretend that I am a Canadian expert on music, but Ray Matk, this is his, I think his first solo record, and it is on, it's on Canada Records. You don't see that label very much. His first solo. Ray Matk, his claim to fame is that he was the first Canadian artist to be signed to Asylum Records, and he had put out about 5 records on Asylum Records. Never really sold many records. He wasn't very successful. There's a gatefold with nice words in here. Great picture on here, by the way. I don't know where that picture is taken. I think Ray is from Brantford, Ontario, if I'm not mistaken. Great singer-songwriter, by the way. And yeah, really happy to find this one. Again, price tag, 35 bucks. I would normally not buy a record for 35 bucks, but for half price and records on credit, I just took a punt on that one. Next is another Canadian band, and I think that Mark from Twanger's Turntable probably is a fan of this band. This is Moxy. This is their second record. Their first record is just called Moxy, and it's on a black cover with this logo here. It's very hard to find. I've seen it kicking around, but usually it's in terrible, terrible shape. But these guys are a hard rock outfit from, they're from Toronto local band. I remember them playing the clubs and doing their tours. I've never owned any of their records, but like I said, I'm beefing up my Canadian collection. I know I'm far from an expert, but really happy to have this one. And as is this one, I think this might be their third record. It's called Ryden High, hard rock outfit. You can tell by the pictures back there. Really happy to have this one. I'm going back a little bit to my rockin' roots. Yeah, I'm going through a little bit of a phase, so I'm looking for some harder edge music, and this is it's not heavy metal or anything like that. So this is right up my alley, I think. Ryden High, Moxy. Another old fixture on the Canadian scene is a guy called Tom Northcott. He is a singer-songwriter. This is a comp. This is the best of Tom Northcott, and songs are from 64 to 70. I can't even read that. 71 maybe. Nice comp. He's kind of a forgotten musician. I think he's from the West Coast. He used to have his own show on CBC, or host a show on CBC. So really good to find that one. A name I knew, but I did not have any records of. Next is a fellow from Vancouver. This is a sealed record of Nick Gilder and City Lights. The big hit off of this, the big radio hit off of this, I think it was in Canada and the US, is Hot Child in the City. So a little bit of glam rock, still sealed. So, excellent condition. I don't know where this fits in the Nick Gilder canon, but another sealed record that grabbed my attention, and this is called Body Talk Music, another Nick Gilder record, 1981. And finally, another Nick Gilder record, and this is on Casablanca, Nick Gilder, Rock America. And this is a release from 1980. Not sealed. And it's a promo copy. It's got the gold promo stamp. So I have not listened to any of these. I haven't cleaned any of them, so I can't really report on them. Anyway, so that was the end of my collection. I don't have any boxes of records hanging around here, so I was really happy about that. My record room is fairly neat and organized. Fairly, but I'm going to be working on that in the next couple of days. But I still had a pile of records beside my chair here that were going to the thrift store. Regardless, I was not going to try to trade them in, bring them to Sally Ann. I brought them to Sally Ann yesterday, and I have never had any luck looking through a Canadian thrift store for records. But while I was there at Salvation Army, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go and see what they got. And lo and behold, they actually had some records that I didn't mind picking up, and they were probably a little overpriced. Maybe they were $2.99 a piece. It's not that the ones I got are not worth $2.99 a piece. It was just the rest of the stuff. I mean, they're like 50-cent records, dollar records, every day of the week. Typical thrift store stuff, and you know what I'm talking about. So first up, still in the shrink, as they say. This is the Average White Band Soul Searchin'. This is from 1976. I think their third or fourth release. I love the Average White Band. Blue-Eyed Soul from Scotland. I streamed this last night. So many great songs on here. And still got some stickers on here. One for $6.99 and one from a Woodward's. Woodward's used to be a British Columbia department store is what I'm trying. That's the word I'm trying to find. Is department store, which is long defunct. But it was Woodward's Transonic Sound Centers, price tag of $5.49 on there. Needs a bath. Like, oh my God, like I don't know how records can get so dusty if they're in their sleeves. What is it, like dust just like migrates in the side here? I don't understand why they're so dirty. No scratches on it. It's just filthy, so it needs a very, very good bath. Really happy to find that record. Next up, Donovan. Donovan Live. Mickey Most production, produced by Mickey Most, obviously. It is, Donovan in concert. Young Girls, Mellow Yellow's on here. Pebble and the Man, Rider in the Sun, The Lullaby Spring. I love Donovan, and I did not have this record, obviously. Again, no scratches. Definitely pretty good condition. VG, anyways, needs a very good bath. It's on Epic Records. And this is a nice cover. Cover is not too beat up. Pretty good shape, I would say. And maybe a little VG minus, but I'll take it. You don't play the covers, as they say. British band that I never had. This is from 1983. ABC's second outing or third outing. I'm not sure. I should have checked. But I streamed this last night, and I thought it was great. Everybody raves about their first record and feels that this is not as good. But I played it last night. It sounded great. It's on Vertigo. It's still got the inner. Again, very, very dusty. Don't know how it got that way. One more to go, folks. Quickly try to do this under 20 minutes, as they say. Another British band from 1987, I believe, was this 1987, Level 42, and their album Running in the Family. Again, I've been trying to beef up my 80s collection from UK post-punk. And I streamed this last night. It was great. Lessons in Love was fantastic. I mean, every song was great. I thought they're all winners. So really happy to have found this. It does have a little note. One skip, song one, side two. Well, I haven't played it yet. Haven't cleaned it. So maybe it won't be skipping, but we'll see. So there you have it. There's my thrift store finds, and there's my shining a light on some Canadian artists. So thank you very much. I'm just coming up to 20 minutes. If you're still with me, thank you so much. Appreciate comments as always. Thanks for all my loyal viewers and my loyal commentators. Love you guys. I am going to be doing a contest entry for Mr. Alex Beer and Vinyl sometime in the next couple of days, and I am going to come back and show you the rest of the records I picked up that I traded in for soon, within a couple of videos. So thanks again. Cheers. Hope you have a great weekend, and see you guys later.